For the Beaver Radio Network, I'm Kelly Schultz. Joining me from the BSU Cross Country team is Emily Turner out of Bingham Lake, Minnesota. Also our Beaver Pride Athlete of the Week. Congrats.
Thank you.
You had a great run this last weekend, the Greenwood Run. You won by 42 seconds, leading the pack the entire way. That's a huge margin. In your mind, is that something like your fastest time you've ever had?
Well, it's not my fastest I've ever had, but I wanted to break 17 minutes, so I went out strong, and I tried to stay strong, and just kind of went with it.
It was a smaller meet than your team is probably used to. I know we were kind of talking before we started about the determination of who gets to start on the starting line first. What was the difference from this meet compared to like a bigger meet?
Well, in this meet, there wasn't a lot of people, so we could all have the top spot on the starting line. But in bigger meets, say like at the Roy Griak, where we have run our regionals, we don't have a big starting box. So whoever has been consistently finishing ahead of the pack and ahead of the team gets that top spot, and everyone else falls into place behind there.
How do you plan your race strategy?
I always just go out strong, try and get a good first mile time, and try and maintain that. Hopefully there's someone that I can work up to or work with and run with, and that always leads to better times.
Did you find it hard as you were leading this race last weekend to stay that far out, not having anybody to pace you, but just everybody behind you?
Oh, definitely. When there's no one around you, it's pretty easy to lose motivation and lose your stride, but did my best, and I'm sure everyone did their best, and we can all work to, improve for the next time.
The meet last week was a home meet. You don't get to practice at Greenwood. Is there such a thing as a home course advantage in cross country?
I guess sometimes. The team did travel to Greenwood the week prior to and practice out there. I couldn't go because I had class, but I think knowing where the hills are, where the sharp turns are, just having that familiar notion of the course really helps.
What was your training like this past summer, and how many miles did you average per day or week?
I was a lifeguard this summer, so I swam laps more than anything, more than I ran, to be honest. And that was a nice break, and especially didn't have to run in the heat. So I didn't put in that many miles, but I started running a little bit more prior to the season. This weekend, your team runs in Glendon, Minnesota. Have you raced there before? I have not. The junior on our team, Emily Turner, has raced there her freshman year, and she said that it was a pretty good course, so I believe her with that. How do you prepare for a course that you're not familiar with? When we arrive at the golf course, we usually walk and jog the course, and then we can see ourselves where the turns are, where the hills are, what we can expect. So, it's kind of exciting since we don't know exactly, but definitely something new. How early enough does your team get to a road trip? Like the day before? Do you have at least 24 hours to get ready? Normally, let's just talk about this race this Friday. We are going to leave mid-morning, and we'll stop and eat somewhere. We'll get to the course about 2 hours or so ahead of race time, and start warming up, and then we'll run, relax for a second, and then head home. Wow. Doesn't give you a lot of time. Well, good luck this weekend. We appreciate your time, Emily, and congrats on Beaver Pride Athlete of the Week. Thank you very much.